everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 637. We are that podcast that talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
I'm Ari Rockefeller.
And I am Mako-chan.
Wow, everybody's in good spirits tonight.
I'm back, baby.
Well, that didn't last long. As I said, that didn't last long.
I mean, it sucks not being here for a couple weeks, so...
Yeah, but you gotta pay the bills, so that's more important.
I guess so.
I know so. So, how is everybody doing tonight?
Tired, mostly, even though I'm on vacation.
It's hot.
Who are you kidding? Who are you kidding? I mean, now that we're at that time of the year, and as I've always said, there is an air conditioner in my window. And while I'm streaming, I shut it off because it is loud as fuck all. And some people can hear it on the mic, others not so much, but still. So normally what I end up doing is grabbing a table fan, a box fan, putting it on a table on the far end of my apartment, and have it blowing towards me. That way it's not being picked up. So I just haven't done it. And I haven't done that in a couple of years because I'm just being lazy. But at least I have I can have like my LTTstore.com water bottle. And a rag to kind of pat my head when it gets really sweaty, you know? And as Podculture says in our chat room here at Twitch TV / Anime Jam Session, try cutting the grass in this heat. You will die. Oof. Way the heat wave has been the last few days, I believe it. Anywho, let's go ahead and get the show on the road, shall we?
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome. We are live tonight, week of June 25th, 2024, right here on Twitch TV. We're here live Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern. You will always find us at Twitch TV / Anime Jam Session. We're also proud to be part of the Voice of Geeks Network at vognetwork.com. And they're also on Twitch as well. You will find them at Twitch TV / vognetwork. They kick things off on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. with the Bobby Blackwolf Show, followed by Orange Lounge Radio at 9. And they're also on Discord, so come hang out with us on Discord at vognetwork.com/Discord. Each show that's part of the Voice of Geeks Network has their own channel, so come through, hang out, talk to us, leave some cool articles. We may end up talking about them. And that's how we roll around here. So now we got that out the way. Let's go ahead and ask the hosts, how was their week? How was their day? Kicking things off is Ari.
Yeah, so I've been away for a while, and mostly that was due to having to work those days.
I get that.
And house hunting continues, but progress is kind of stalled on that because it's just hard to get an open communication line with the realtor I've been working with, especially when it comes to what houses I want to go and look at. But other than that, I'm on vacation this week. And I technically have been since last Thursday because I'd taken off from work, put in 2 personal days for Saturday and Sunday because they were overnight shifts. And I'm like, yeah, fuck that. I'm going to be away that weekend.
Good call.
And so I'm just, spending the week plus recuperating. I think I might need it longer after this last weekend, but we'll get into that.
Yes, definitely. What Ari is alluding to is our review of Shenanicon, which will be coming up on the second half of our program.
Also, I had to trim the beard to make the CPAP mask fit again.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's how things have been going for me. Sorry if they're not as interesting at that as they could be.
That works. I wouldn't even sweat it.
Sweat it. Huh, I get
it. Mako-chan, how was your week? How was your day?
Very tiring.
Yeah.
Very hot.
Mm-hmm.
I did nothing that I should have done. So
Lazy.
Pretty damn much. But yeah, I'm just surviving.
Vibing or surviving?
Yes.
I'll accept that. So my weekend day's basically been the same. Work's been work. It's been a little rough, a little bit here and there, only because again, it's only two of us techs, in the office. So and now the fact that they're looking to expand another floor for another department, I'm like, we definitely need a third up in here because this is getting a little crazy. Oh, excuse me. But other than that, work has been how it is. I can't complain too much. I will say this, something interesting that did happen to me this morning. Not on a bad way. Now, as I'm leaving my house, and I walk past like the front stoop, I see two boxes on the stairs. And I look at them. And I'm just like, wait, they have my name on it. And I walk closer. It's from Otaku Mode. And I'm like, I don't recall getting an email for packages from them, because whenever they ship my packages, I get an email that at least 7 days prior, and I haven't seen anything like that. And it usually goes into a folder just for Otaku Mode. So I didn't see any. I'm like, I don't recall getting anything like that. So I'm like, well, maybe these are packages that were lost, because I know a couple times a figure that I did buy got lost or never arrived, so maybe it was that. So I went ahead and checked the dates. They were shipped this week. So I'm like, okay. And then I noticed there's a guy in a van behind me parked, and he's like, oh, they're your packages. I'm like, yeah. I was legitimately surprised. It seems that the Postal Service just showed up out of nowhere, delivered them to his place and not mine. And I mean, not for nothing, this is not the first time. I've actually gotten packages for neighbors before, but they're usually the next house over 99% of the time. Or even a letter or something, and I just throw it right back in them. But this, I was like, what the? And the thing is, I didn't even get an email from them expecting anything. So that I'm just like really kind of surprised by that. But I'm not complaining because I have my packages now. So that's all that matters. Oh, wait. I see what happened. Otaku Mode did send me the emails. But I never got a mail notification that something dropped into that folder. So, mystery solved. Mystery solved. Yeah, because
that happens every now and then.
Yeah, because I had the same rule set up in my inbox at work for all the support tickets. I throw them all into one folder, and I get a pop-up say, "Oh, you have a mail." I'm like, okay. Then by looking at the subject, I know to read or ignore. So, problem solved. Anywho, now that we got that out the way, we're going to go ahead and get into some housekeeping news for y'all. Let me pull that up real quick. Perfect. We want to let you know that there will be no show next Tuesday. Yes, next Tuesday is the week of the 4th, and I have that week off. And also the fact that next Wednesday, me and Mako are going to see Alanis Morissette in concert again for the very first time.
Yep.
So
have fun with it.
Thank you. And I figured, I could do it. We could do a show. I could edit and everything, but I'm just like, you know what? Let's just let's just enjoy the time off. So no show next week. Also, I want to let y'all know that episodes of our podcast are available in video form. Just head on over to youtube.com/anime jam session, and episodes are up Thursdays at 12 noon. If you don't see it by then, I probably forgot like last week, which I apologize for, and the episode went right up, so that's taken care of. So if you want to check out some of our older episodes, or if that's what you use for podcasting, you can definitely check them out there at youtube.com/anime jam session. Click on podcasts, and episodes are right there Thursdays at 12 p.m. And last bit of news for housekeeping is I, with a friend of mine, will be at Undiscovered Realm Comic Con this weekend. It is June 29th and 30th at the Westchester County Center in White Plains, New York. So come through, hang out. It will be fun. We'll let that run. So, and what's cool is it's a really nice diner, like right across the street from the county center. So, and this year it's Ninja Turtle. It's turtle themed. They have the voice actors from all three live action Ninja Turtle movies from the 90s. They have both Shredders there, both April O'Neils. And they actually have two of the voices from Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem there. So that's gotta be interesting. Plus,
should be a pretty stacked lineup.
Yeah, there's also Miley Flanagan will be there, the voice of Naruto. There's some One Piece voice actors and stuff. My Ninja Turtle trilogy deep Blu-ray just arrived, so I'm getting that signed. So I'm kind of excited about that. So, and this will probably be, I think, and this time I'm not doing any quote unquote photography. I know my sister Sun Seen Lee will be there. She's cosplaying April O'Neil. So I will be doing a shoot with her, and
which version? The OG?
Yeah, the yellow jumpsuit. Yeah, OG yellow jumpsuit.
Best version.
Yeah, and I know my other friend, Sakura Haruno girl, will be there. She basically the con is literally 10 minutes from her house. And funny thing is, we were talking about the con, and she's like, she's not sure what to wear, and she knows I always shoot her, and I'm just like, why don't you wear a cosplay that you haven't done a photo shoot in? That should do it. So I don't know what she's doing. So all right, let's get that out the way. Next up is Geek Roundtable. This is where we spend a couple of minutes talking about the geek gear aspects of our week, what we've been up to, and sharing cool stuff. So what you got, Ari? What you been up to? What you got for Geek Roundtable?
Well, I did get this package just in today. It's another dice order I placed with the beer die guys.
Mm-hmm.
And well, it came in two pouches. The other one pouch is a glow in the dark one that's in the other room.
Yeah.
But I wanted to show these off because these are these are custom dice. Hang on, let me. It's starting normal, like white with the red pips.
Mm-hmm.
The color scheme on it, but when I say custom, I mean custom.
Nice.
Yeah, I got my monogram on these.
Nice.
They're just an order of 10 D6s, and the monogram takes the place of the one. So yeah, the 6 is directly behind it.
Okay.
And I haven't obviously since I just got them, I haven't had a chance to use them. So it's just a matter of figuring out what I'm gonna do with them.
Okay.
Because dice and whatnot are pretty much just nerd jewelry anyway.
Mm.
Everyone's gagging until Rockefeller rolls up with the custom D6s.
Cool. All right. So, what is that I see there, Mako? Tell the audience.
Yeah. So back on my
Bullshit.
demon boy plushie thing.
So
This
your
came
demon
in.
bullshit.
Yeah, so this came in. For those that don't know, I am collecting plushies from an online game that was turned into an anime. It is all about demon boys, and they're all brothers. This is Satan.
Don't you mean Satan?
No, this is Satan.
Are you sure this isn't from Paradise Lost?
Yeah,
Given
no.
how handsome he looks.
Yeah, no.
Even villains gotta have a bishy look to them.
They're not villains. The whole thing is that, you are going to a demon school.
Sure about that.
Yeah. And I can't, it's a dating game, but it's not a dating game.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Hmm?
I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's you find out as you're playing that the character that you are, let's just say it might get kind of icky if it was a dating game. But anyway, yeah, so this is Satan. I like him the most, besides Lucifer.
Gee, I wonder why.
Well, Satan has a thing for cats. And not like, he really likes cats. So, he gets a little, adorable around cats. Thus, I really like Satan. But I like Lucifer too, and it kind of works out because in the game, Satan is split from Lucifer. So they are kind of, twins.
Half siblings.
They're technically the same person in two different bodies, sort of. It's complicated, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, he came last week, right after the show ended, basically that Wednesday. So now I have him. I have one more that was purchased, and then there are two more that should be coming out, and I will at least have the full collection of the brothers.
Okay. And it's funny when you mention him, I keep hearing detective. I still need to sit down and watch the final season of Lucifer.
Yeah, I need to sit down and watch it. I know later on in the seasons they start really getting more into the various Easter eggs and realizations that it actually is a Neil Gaiman show. This does start going more into the realm of dream and death and stuff like that. So I do have to sit and watch them, but I stopped at like season 3, so I have a lot to catch up on.
That reminds me, I had seen a meme with Neil Gaiman, and he's in a bookstore in an airport, and he's basically autographing all his books and putting them back on the shelf.
That seems like something he would do.
I'm just saying, you buying let's see, what was the name of the last miniseries that was his that Netflix did? What was it? I don't remember the name of it. The one that everybody was trying to promote for a second season.
I don't know either.
There are a couple of them that he's done.
Well, Omens? I don't think it was Good Omens. It was another one. This was on Netflix.
Okay, Good Omens is on Amazon Prime.
Yes. I mean, it was. I think
Sandman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sandman is Netflix.
Yeah, because I was about to say Dreamscapes and Nightmares. Well, like, no, that's Stephen King. And that's not Stephen King. That's what comes to mind, Stephen King. So, So I think it was one of those books, and he's just there, and it shows him just signing each one and putting it back. So imagine just randomly going into an airport a bookstore in an airport, and you're picking up one of his books, and then when you get on the airplane to read it, you realize that's his signature.
Mhm.
All right. So for my geek roundtable, I just started this new anime called Windbreaker. My friend Andre recommended it. It's really good. I would have to say it's a cross between Rival Schools and River City Ransom. It's pretty good. It's about a guy who wants to, because he was always ridiculed his entire life. He moves away to this new town to fight to be the best and the best fighter out there in the school. Turns out like things are slightly different, and he doesn't realize how the work he's put in is being appreciated. So it's kind of interesting. I'm like 5 episodes in, and it's really good. I think once I'm done with that, I'm going to finish your Life Lessons with Urameshi-san, because I find that I will start something 3-4 episodes in and switch to something else because I'll fire up Crunchyroll or whatever, and I don't see what I was watching, so I go watch something else because I totally forget. So there's that. The 2 figurines that I bought, I will show those off in the next upcoming weeks, and I don't think I showed off this figure yet. I picked this up at Zenkai-Con. It's a Corful Lycoris recoil figure of Chisato Nishigishi. And what's interesting is I bought this, so I'm just like, where's her partner, or I guess her significant other? Come to find out, Corful has not released the other figure. There may not even be another figure to complement this one. So I actually went looking online. I'm just like, because I had never seen this figure before, and I kept swearing up and down it's the same one I already have. But I'm looking at the ones I have here, and it is a different manufacturer. Corful is Taito, and the other one is Sega. So for those of you who don't know, Sega also makes figurines. So, and they're budget price, but they're really nice and they're really good looking too. Also more or less for the the final week for Pride, as you all know, I wear a different Pride shirt every week, and I don't wear them in the same order as every year. I just pull them out and just grab them and go. So this week's shirt, I'm rolling back. You can see it says, let me turn this way because of my camera. There we go. It says, "We are all human." And the word human represents a different flag. Like we have asexual, bisexuality, standard pride, transsexuality, and pansexuality. Each color for the different letters of the alphabet. Each flag for each letter in the word human. Which I think is really awesome because, look, it don't matter. Well, I don't mean to say it like that, but regardless if you're straight, queer, gay, whatever, we're all human. We all interact with each other, and we all should have equal rights across the board, regardless. And that's the most important thing. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. Don't want to go off in another tangent or anything like that, because that's something we really don't need right now. Let's see here. Let me look for something here. Now, before we get into tonight's articles, oddly enough, we have some late breaking news. News just came down the pipe right after I put together the outline. So, unless you were like a bird with the head stuck in the sand, great news has come out of Japan. A brand new Ranma 1/2 anime has been announced. You have no idea how excited I am. There have been
We had an idea seeing all your social feeds blowing up.
Well, yeah. Rumors have been spreading about the reboot for the last couple of weeks, but I haven't said anything about it because I wanted to hear from a definite source. So we are getting that definite source. And the source of this is directly from twitter.com/RumikWorld1010, which is Rumiko Takahashi's official Twitter account. She may not run it, but her team does. And it actually says in the description, official Twitter account of Rumiko Takahashi. So that's exactly what's happening. We are getting a brand new Ranma 1/2 anime. I absolutely cannot wait. I guess after the success of Yashahime and Yorosei Yatsura, they decided to go ahead with this. So I will say this much. If they keep it true to the animation style and the dialogue of season 1, it'll be good. We'll have more. There'll be more information about the new series or the reboot series on July 17th, 2024. And there's also a Twitter account, twitter.com/Ranma_PR. So I think that's where all the information is going to be. Now, I've been seeing some comments from various people. Some are like, it's a great series, I can't wait. Others are like, it's good the way it was, leave it alone. Some are saying, please, no filler or anything like that. We don't need that. So, and then there are others who are saying that some of the jokes will fall flat. Given how the anime was, it might not translate as well. I will say this. If they stay true to the manga and just keep it with lighthearted comedy and people understand that why Ranma is cursed, we're good. We have nothing to worry about. And it'll be just perfectly fine. And I just followed the official Twitter account for the Ranma series, and there's also a link there for the for their TikTok account. I'm just like, oh god. Let's see, who are they following? Okay, so they're following Shonen Sunday and Rumik World, so that's fine by me. So anywho, now that we got that out the way, we're going to get into tonight's articles, and then we're going to discuss Shenanicon. Mako, kick things off about what's going on with Yoko Takahashi and the Evangelion concert.
Yeah, so not surprised at all, but yeah. So the Ikebukuro Anime Philharmonic is an upcoming concert series centered on orchestral renditions of iconic anime themes.
Mm-hmm.
First performance is slated for July 10th, and the plan was to start by including Yoko Takahashi singing A Cruel Angel's Thesis.
Mm-hmm.
However, this past Wednesday, Takahashi announced through a posting on her official Twitter that she's dropping out of the program due to its organizers' use of AI-generated artwork in the promotional artwork for the event's flyers. The statement reads, Yoko Takahashi's beliefs differ from the operational attitude of the Philharmonic concert at which she was scheduled to appear on July 10th. As an artist, she is unable to see eye to eye with the organizers, and after much difficult consideration, she is declining to take part in the event. She deeply apologizes to all those who are looking forward to seeing her and wishes to place the highest value on the feelings of anime lovers. Not mentioned specifically in the statement, however, prior to her withdrawal, rumors had begun circulating that portions of the promotional artwork had been produced by generative AI. The Philharmonic confirmed this in a statement released at the exact same time as Takahashi's, in which it apologized for the situation, though the organization denies that it knowingly or maliciously used AI-generated artwork. We are embarrassed, despite calling ourselves an anime-loving musical organization, at our lack of awareness surrounding recent issues regarding generative AI, says the Philharmonic, adding that the organization's executive committee is deeply regretful and that it would be replacing the promotional artwork with new illustrations from commissioned human artists. The day before the above statements were made, Yo Matsushita, a saxophonist and one of the organizers of the Philharmonic, posted a video to the organization's official YouTube channel discussing the chain of events that led up to Takahashi's departure. According to Matsushita, there was no initial intent to use AI-generated artwork in the concert's promotional materials. However, they were unable to secure an artist for the project, and with deadlines for the promotional materials quickly approaching, they began looking for pre-existing images that were being offered for commercial use, whereupon they found the images of instrument-playing anime-style characters which were used in the concert's first poster. Unfortunately, he also says that they failed to notice that among the images they selected to use were ones tagged as AI generated.
Whoops.
Yeah. Currently, the July 10th event is still planned to be held with pieces from anime such as Dragon Ball, One Piece, Oshinoko, Ranma 1/2, and the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya to be performed. However, the Philharmonic says that it will be offering refunds for ticket holders who, like Takahashi, are no longer interested in attending. At least they're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
They have just said, oh, bad, so sad. But at least they're going with the, we fucked up. If you don't want to come anymore, here's your money back.
I really can't see, like, Japan artists and stuff like that going, too bad, so sad, I really can't see it. But I wouldn't put it past anyone,
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on whether or not the money that wasn't coming in for the tickets would be, held against them.
Right.
My thing is, though, how long did you know that you had to get this stuff done? So did you forget to ask people to help you draw stuff up, or did they just want more money than you were willing to actually shell out?
They probably gave all these artists lowball offers, and the artists were wisely went, yeah, that's going to be a no for me, boss.
Yeah, I mean, you should do this because, you'll get exposure.
And there it is.
We do not say the E word.
And there the fuck it is.
Yeah. And again, it doesn't go into what exactly happened, but it's not like this was a surprise. It's not like they decided, hey, we should do this tomorrow. This was something that was, scheduled and had to be scheduled for the people that were going to be participating. So there's definitely a reason why artists ended up not choosing to work with them. And the only thing I could guess is that they weren't offering them the money that they really wanted.
That's kind of terrible too, so.
It really is.
So now you're caught with your pants around your ankles for using AI art, and you had to use, human artists for your art, and who will obviously get more favorable terms for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah, now they have no choice, and things have to be quick. So if they want things done and looking good and quick, they're going to be shelling out even more money than they would have had to had they just shelled out money in the first place. Because quick and cheap is going to give you crap art.
Isn't it like quick, cheap?
It's quality, speed, and cost efficient.
Yeah.
Efficiency. You
Pick
can only
two.
pick two.
Yeah. I mean, there are times I've picked two and it's come out really well, and it's only because I forgot and it came down to the last minute. But there are times I'm like, okay, I have several months. Let me commission this now so I'll have it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it
Honestly,
really,
I always lead towards high quality and
Mm-hmm.
like high quality and high speed if I can, because wait, what's the best way to put this? Like, I don't mind if they take their time doing it. If they get everything right by me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. I totally get you.
right. I mean, I've had things where I'm just like, I need this, but it's not, I'm not going to a convention anytime soon. It's just something that I want. I want it for, a purpose down the line. So don't push me to the front of the line or anything like that. Just take your time. And when you get to it, you get to it. And, you know, there you go.
Well, there have been times I've done the same thing, but then I realized, wait, I need it by X amount of time, and thankfully, it's already mostly done. I'm just waiting just for the product itself. So, but also what's interesting is other companies have been caught doing the same thing, and now and people
It's
have.
fun to point and laugh at them.
But here's the thing, though. A lot of sometimes some of this quote unquote fan art, which is actually AI generative art, is coming from people who submit it and don't really say that it is, and you usually have to find out through whoever's looking at it to see that this is AI art. And I will say this much: if you're looking at the fan art and it looks too good to be true, and it kind of slightly resembles Gadget from Rescue Rangers, it's AI art. You laugh, but you go find a picture of Gadget from Rescue Rangers and go find some anime AI art. You'll
Speaking
see
of which,
some slight
Pokemon
resemblance.
card contest actually caught like dozens of people cheating and using AI art, and they had no
Mhm.
choice but to disqualify them.
Yeah, I heard about that. I mean, it's the same thing because there are people who will sit there and spend their time and energy designing this amazing art piece, and then some Joe Schlum will just type 10 sentences into an art generator and be like, oh, this is perfect. Go.
No, that's not how it works.
Exactly. Well, people live and learn. Moving right along, our next story we're going to talk about um, Demon Slayer. We're getting an international release for the musical. And some people have already started complaining about it. I'm just like, if the people that are complaining about this musical are not Japanese or Americans who are living in Japan, watch, I don't want to hear it. Ari, take it away.
All right, 1 second.
You got it.
There we go. Here we go. Crunchyroll pushes play on Demon Slayer's live action.
Hmm.
Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the stage, has now finally become available to streamers internationally following its release on Crunchyroll. The musical initially ran in Japan from January to February 2020. For a press release, a live action stage performance has become available for streaming with English subtitles in the US, Canada, UK, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand as of June 21st, 2024. The stage adaptation sits at just under about 2 hours 40 minutes, starring
Sounds about
Ryota Kobayashi as Tanjiro Kamado, Akira Takaishi as Nezuko Kamado, Keisuke Ueda as Zenitsu Agatsuma, and Yugo Sato is Inosuke Ashibira. Covers the first half of the anime's first season. Stage adaptation covers the final selection arc, Kidnapper's Bog arc, and the Asakusa arc, chapters 1 through 19 the manga, and episodes 1 through 10 of the anime.
Hmm.
A second part of stage adaptation was released in Japan in August 2021, covering the Mount Naragumo arc and the rehabilitation training arc, and adaptation of Mugen Train arc. Then premiered in September 2022, followed by an adaptation of the Entertainment District arc in November 2023. A stage adaptation of the Swordsmith Village arc has not yet been announced, but will likely receive official news in the coming months. At present, only the first part of the Demon Slayer stage adaptation is streaming on Crunchyroll. None of the stage performances are currently touring. The stage adaptations have received largely positive reviews, despite the often negative association with live-action anime adaptations. This is likely in part due to the adaptation of the series into a musical rather than an exact recreation of the anime for the stage. The performance has been lauded for the stunning visuals, assisted by fancy projection work, as well as for its musical numbers. So, if you're into stage adaptations of your favorite anime, you got another one to look forward to.
I mean, the Sailor Moon ones were really good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think, you know what I'd like to see Crunchyroll do? Just acquire the rights to all these musicals and just put them up there. Just subtitle them. Don't dub, just subtitle them. I would love to see some of the older campy Sarah Miyus. That would be cool.
I imagine it would.
What was that, Mako?
What'd you say, Mako?
I said that would be fun.
Yeah. I know there's always been issues with live action adaptations, but you gotta look at the production studio that's doing it and how it's coming along. You know, yeah, we know the Death Note one was terrible. We know. But the FMA one was great. Let's be real. The FMA one was great. I understand that the Attack on Titan Japanese live action wasn't as good because supposedly it has something to do with the pronunciation of the European-esque names or something like that.
Yeah, they kind of went off kilter with that one.
How off kilter are we talking?
Like plot-wise and everything too.
Ooh. Kind of reminds me of the whole debacle with Yu Yu Hakusho. Half the people I know loved it, and the other half people I know hated it. I've only seen the first episode. I need to sit down and watch the rest. I'll probably do that this weekend before I go to this convention.
I haven't watched it yet.
Well, I really enjoyed the first episode, though. That much is sure. Okay, now we're going to get into our last story of the night before we talk about Shenanicon. Akiba Maid War. This was a sleeper hit of 2022. I thought it was great. 2022, 2023. It was a great anime. I definitely need to buy that and add that to my collection. I actually might sit down and watch the dub of that, but the subtitle was really good. It's basically Akiba Maid War was basically maid cafes meets the Yakuza meets John Wick, you know? It was the best way I could describe it. Now,
yeah, it's really an interesting series.
Yeah. Now, before I get into this, I'll tell this as part of the story. Now, it seems that the people behind Akiba Maid War has announced a pop-up cafe in LA, and I wish I could go. So, via a press release, Little Akihabara, in collaboration with Akiba Maid War producers Cygames and licensor Sentai Filmworks, is opening a brand new maid cafe in Little Tokyo like you've never seen before. The grand opening of this cafe is set to take place on June 28th and is going to stay open to the public to the end of July. The Akiba Maid War pop-up cafe is inspired by the anime's cafe called Ton Tokoton, or Pig House. It'll open at 319 East 2nd Street, Suite 122 in Los Angeles, California. It's available. The availability of the place is from 1 to 8 p.m. during the week, and on weekends, 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. Come enjoy an authentic maid cafe in the heart of Little Tokyo with an immersive setting that brings the Ton Tokoton Cafe to light. The experience is teased. Witness the darker side behind all the cute frills and lace as you learn firsthand how cutthroat the maid cafes of Akihabara can truly be. Fans can purchase tickets for the special pre-grand opening event on June 27th and general ticketing is available at tickettailor.com/events/little Akihabara 1283406. And I am going to go ahead and post a link to that in our chat at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session. Again, it's tickettailor.com/events/little Akihabara /1283406. The cafe will seat 52 people, which is 13 tables with 4 chairs. Cafe goers can expect a maid-themed menu like Porker's Omurice, which is ham omurice, which oddly enough, I never had that in Japan when I went to the maid cafe. I got the pizza instead. I have to remedy.
You had a choice to get omurice and you did not get omurice.
Yeah, I know. I know. I know. You know what the funny thing is? I didn't even realize that till I'm reading this article.
Dumbass.
Screw you. So you get ham omurice with drawing services, as well as similarly themed drinks. The Oinky Doinky like porkformance. Porkformance. Will be held daily from 12 to 1:30, 2 to 3:30, 6 to 7:30, and 8 to 9:30. These are reservation only, earning fans a special performance, a full meal set, photo experiences of the different tiers with the maids, and more. Attendees outside these times will be allowed in on a first-come, first-served basis, but can also purchase personal performances. The event is rated PG-13, with some of the contents of the Maid Cafe alluding to violent imagery. Little Akihabara was established by Anime Jungle, which has been active in Little Tokyo, LA, for over 21 years. The company was said to provide a bridge for Japanese businesses and content providers to establish a base in America while leveraging Akihabara's global appeal commonly seen in anime. Its past events include Akiba Open Mic Karaoke and Anasan and Idol, all day stage, inviting SoCal idols for exciting performances. That's cool. As Japanese content expands overseas, the Akiba Maid War pop-up cafe is joined by the recent opening of the One Piece cafe in Las Vegas. I've heard mixed reviews about that. This menu includes several references to characters and iconic moments from the One Piece anime, and it follows the prior anime-centric ventures like the first Naruto ramen shop in America. Fans of kawaii maids may also be interested in the numerous Hello Kitty cafes in America, alongside Canada's very first Hello Kitty cafe that opened up last month. High Dive streams Akiba Maid War, so definitely check this out. You're gonna love it. Trust me. As well as a number of anticipated anime to stream this summer and beyond. It looks like High Dive will be exclusive to Dan Machi Season 5, and the English subtitle trailer is available. And also Oshinoko Season 2, and it's considered to be basically considered to be the most anticipated summer anime of summer 2024 by many Japanese fans. Wow. So, and one thing I wanted to throw in there, when I was leaving the Maid Cafe, I went to Shangri-La. I was walking back, and I saw this other maid cafe, and they had a maid uniform in the window. And when I looked over, I was like, wait, that looks familiar. And I got closer, and I realized in the window was a replica of the maid uniform from the Tokotan Maid Cafe from Akiba Maid War. And the apron is signed by all of the voice actresses in the anime. And I thought that was one of the coolest things I had ever seen. And I wonder if I go back next year if it'll still be there. That'd be really awesome if it is. Now, I understand the way the episodes ended. You really couldn't do a second season, but things happened between episode 11 and 12, or mostly episode 12. You could drop a second season in there. I think that'd be kind of cool. Or what Nagisa's doing afterwards, that would be kind of cool. I think her name is Nagisa. Anywho. Now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and talk about Shenanicon 2024. And this is the part of the show we bid farewell to Mako-chan.
Yep. Night, night, guys.
Nice
Good
seeing
night.
you again.
You too.
We'll see you next week.
Well, yeah. Just not
Yeah.
here.
But for
You know
everybody
what we
else,
mean.
yeah, we'll see you the week after 2 weeks.
Johnny.
Ja. Okay. Hold on for a second here. Let me go ahead and make some adjustments with the stream. There we go. And let's go ahead and adjust the overlay. There we go.
I am.
There we go. Perfect in all sense. All right. Now that we've waved
Almost.
bye-bye to Mako-chan, let's talk about Shenanicon.
Oh, there we go.
Load. Oh.
I don't think it was the worst con I've ever been to, but it's down there.
No. I would have to disagree. I don't think it's one of the worst cons ever. Now, if this was, if how this con was happened, like in year 3 or year 4, then definitely worst con. I thought the con wasn't bad for what it was, and what they were pushing for. Now, as you all know, there is a lack of 21 plus conventions in this country. And for some of you, you're thinking, oh, it can be 21 plus if you put your mind to it. Yes, but let's not even go there. And by 21 plus, I mean everybody's of age. We're running around in cosplay, doing pictures, doing panels, and all this good stuff. Now, when you hear 21 plus, there are some conventions that are definitely adult oriented, like there are hentai panels, there are BDSM panels, there's panels about kink, hentai, all that other stuff. That is something. But the theme of Shenanicon was a throwback to cons of back in the day. Back when cons were a little bit smaller, a lot more friendly, and everybody was having a great time. Which is one of the reasons why the attendance was capped at 450 people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as somebody who's used to going to cons as 2,000, 3,000 strong, it was nice to go to a con where it was less than 500 people, and I felt like I didn't have to stress over doing photography and going to panels. Now, the panels at this convention are the typical run-of-the-mill panels you'd find at any convention. But here's the difference. Instead of the panels being run by some teenager or somebody that's not of age, how about somebody older? That's what I'm talking about. Somebody who is older, who's more refined. And everybody in the panel room are of age, and you can give more mature opinions and thoughts, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what one thing I liked about it. Hold on. I'm trying to pull up the schedule. Here we go. Con guide and schedule. Zoom in a little bit. Yep. So that's a little bit too big. Perfect. There we go. So there we go. So now normally because of how small it is, the con was only from Saturday and Sunday. What I liked was between every panel, it was either a 30-minute or 15-minute
room clear.
Room clear. Thank you. Yeah. So we got there on Friday. And for those of you who don't know, from last Wednesday to this past Sunday, it was a heat wave. It was sick. It was atrocious. It took me about 5 hours to get to the con. Plan of action was to go to Penn Station, hit Newark Broad Street, switch trains, go to Mountain Lakes, catch a lift. Simple as that. Nope. Penn Station for almost an hour. No, for almost an hour waiting for a train. No. Half hour waiting for a train. Caught a train. Made it to Secaucus. Ended up having to go to Hoboken. Go ahead, say the line from Megas XLR.
Yeah, but that's Hoboken.
Thank you. And then from Hoboken to Mountain Lakes. Now, for those of you who know the area, couldn't I just switched into Secaucus? No, the train wasn't going through there. So there we go. And we get there Friday, and we get to the room, and I literally peel my clothes off and shower and relax and adjust the air conditioning. And I adjust the air conditioning. And I adjust the air conditioning. I think we all know where we're going with this. Despite how good the con was, the major issue was air conditioning. And from my understanding, the hotel is not capable of full capacity with air conditioning because it seems like, from what I heard, the AC has not been upgraded in almost 30 years.
Jeez.
That's bad. Now, if you talk to anybody that's been to the con, that's the main thing they're going to complain about. It's the air conditioning. So, I think the only time the AC was cool was when I got up early for breakfast. Now, another cool thing, there was free, because it was an Embassy Suites hotel, free breakfast, and I enjoyed that. And the fact that, I just liked how, I liked the fact that the con was in a suite-style hotel, because when they had the cosplay showcase, it was in the interior courtyard, so you could just come outside of your hotel room and just watch from where you were. You didn't have to worry about grabbing a chair or anything. It was just right there. That was cool. Ari, what panels did you check out at the con?
Hang on, let me bring up the schedule.
Done and done.
Well, first of all, getting up there, I left around 2:00, and I figured since Pemberton was on the way, I would stop by that area because there was a couple houses.
Let's
that,
skip past that part.
Huh?
Let's skip past that part.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's just say I won't be going there. That neighborhood sucks, and half the houses were boarded up.
Yeah.
Moving along. Let's see. First of all, I did try some of the breakfast. It was pretty good. Though the line for the omelet maker was a little long, so I just decided to skip that.
Well, the omelets were pretty good, though. I'm not going to lie about that.
Mm-hmm. The video game room was perhaps the coolest room all weekend. Because they had fans all over the place. It also opened like an hour early because one of the staff said, I got bored and decided, why not? Let's see. First, I went to Nerd Quiplash, which is just the Quiplash game from the Jackbox Party Pack, only with an anime theme to it for all the questions. Also within the 21 plus, spirit of the event. Although, I left after the first game because it only allows you so many questions to sift through, and I felt a lot of nerd cards had to be revoked after one of the prompts was, "Why are you buying clothes at the soup store?" And neither of the responses were, "Fuck you!"
Well, I know that reference, and even I'm tired of that reference.
But yeah. I did record Magical Girl Boot Camp with Uncle Yo. I don't know if you've looked at it or not.
I haven't looked at it yet, but we've all seen Uncle Yo in action, and he is amazing.
He doesn't really do a bad panel, so
no, never.
Yeah, he also did a quote-unquote striptease, and mostly because he was working in a bit about he too was upset by the pool being closed.
Yeah, because he was saying during the cosplay showcase he was promised a pool.
Yeah. And let's see. Oh, there was also a panel called 404 File Not Found Videos the Internet Forgot.
Mm.
And, well, let's just say I left like halfway through because some of those videos are unearthing memories that were buried for a reason.
Mm.
But overall, I mean, like I was just completely drained by the heat and the like stagnant air the whole weekend.
Yeah.
I was just also in a lot of pain walking around, especially so like our one friend that we stopped in on Friday night, she actually had AC working for a little
Yes,
while.
yes. CC Grey Witch. Yeah, she's also she's also staffing the con as well. And we had dinner with her. And like again, like I said, it was the best place for air conditioning. Whew. If if I'd known our room's gonna be like that, I probably would have slept. I probably would have crashed on her floor.
Hmm. The beds were okay,
Yeah, they were comfy though. I'm not gonna lie.
but one problem I did have was every time I would like go to one of the sinks to get some water, it was always just so metallic and chlorinated tasting, and it was like I got through like one glass on the first time I tried. I'm like, oh wow, this is nasty. And I'm like, anyone's other that even for like taking pills, I can only do like the bare minimum because
Mm-hmm.
you just think, yeah, like, oh god, it was disgusting.
Well,
And I can only imagine it was the same kind of infrastructure issues they were having along with the air conditioning. You know, same
may
kind of shit falling apart.
maybe, but I will say, I didn't mind the water though, because I mean, there if you're at the con, there was a water station set up right outside of the dealer's hall, right by karaoke, and that water was nice and cold.
Oh yeah,
And
I
I
hit
didn't
that
take
up too, but
I didn't have any metallic taste because it's basically coming from the same system more or less, you know.
no, they had to like I don't know, maybe their friggin' purifiers or filters were on the blink or something. But yeah,
Maybe.
that stuff is nasty. And I just ended up completely drained and from being in pain and being hot and being exhausted walking around all day. And
Mm-hmm.
I spent most of Saturday night just chilling in the hotel with a Cinnamite,
Okay.
watching Food Network reruns.
That's become our new
The co-
go-to.
huh?
That's become our new go-to.
Yeah, new con tradition.
Yeah. So let me pull this back up again.
Oh, also
Hmm?
one thing I did also
What's up?
do is I took place in the Street Fighter 6 tournament.
How did you do?
Uh I did all right. I hadn't played the game in a while and a little bit rusty, but I ended up losing in the losers bracket. And as a consolation prize, I got a comic book that's bagged and boarded.
That's cool.
It's 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 on the other side of the room. I can show it off for you if you want. It'll only take a second.
Invoke your force powers, man.
Wish I could, but yeah, comics are like the one thing I wasn't all that into. But here it is. It's Superman, Superman, Batman number 30.
Hmm.
I I not really keen on reading comic books, so I don't know the context of what this cover is.
Okay.
Gotta figure out what to do with that. I don't know.
I'd say just hold on to it. It might be worth something in the future.
I doubt it. It was a consolation prize, so
Oh,
oh well,
just
better than nothing.
saying, you know.
But Cinna also did buy me this Mercury sticker. That was nice of her.
Yeah, that was nice.
So yeah, that was Saturday for me. Oh,
I
also
mm-hmm.
like I did find a water bottle, a con branded water bottle, and was
Mm-hmm.
drinking juice with a gin out of it.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing with a regular water bottle, and I had to talk to the almighty Deacon Snoop Dogg for that one. All right, so here we go. Now, let me pull up the schedule again. Let me flip to this browser page. All right, so Friday, I walked past the One Piece cosplay meetup. I missed the Magical Girl cosplay meetup, which was, I wanted to check that out, but I totally missed that. I did pop in and see some of the Magical Girl boot camp with Uncle Yo, and it was great. It's basically him talking about being a magical girl, like the plot lines and what it comes down to. That was pretty fun.
You seem to do especially he prays on the Utena.
I missed that part.
It was brilliant. And he also especially hates Kyubey from what was it, like
Madoka Magica?
Yeah, that one.
Well, a lot of people hate Kyubey because he basically tricks him into a contract to save the world or you die or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but his "you" was just so visceral.
Mm-hmm. Now, I did check out the cosplay showcase. Now, the cosplay showcase is not a masquerade of sorts. Now, when you hear the term masquerade outside of conventions, it's basically a party, you dress up and so forth. When it comes to conventions, you hear masquerade. It's a costume contest. In a showcase, you're just going up on stage and you're either just doing a quick performance or something like that. But it's not. It's like, think of it as like a variety show, like Saturday Night Live of a way, but with without no celebrity guests or celebrity music. And it was about an hour. We had some cosplayers come on. They did like some nice dance routines. They walked it. Uncle Yo kind of did his spiel about being promised a pool. It was great. So I would say, as a cosplay photographer, I spent the bulk of my time walking around and relaxing. And because of the fact that there weren't a lot of cosplayers there, I found myself spending more time doing more shots and posing and so forth. One of my favorite photos I had taken was a Rin cosplayer from Vocaloid, where we went to the gazebo area, and in the gazebo is basically like a bar top. So I had her sit on the bar, like stomach down, hold her head in her hands like this, and have her feet up, like a fun photo. And then I had Miku come up on the side with a big old smile and give thumbs up. I thought that was kind of cool. And I had a reverse one where Miku was kind of sitting on the bar top, and I had the Rin come up behind, and I thought that was also cool. I also did a shoot with a friend of mine, Angelic Sakura. She was at the con as Sailor Mercury. Thankfully, I'm glad she did not sweat out of her cosplay, unlike some of us. I did bring cosplay. I was originally going to bring Garterbelt and Luigi, but as I was packing, I said, you know what? I'll bring Garterbelt and Black Jesus. But as I was putting everything together, I realized I'm running out of space. So I just grabbed Garterbelt and went. And seeing how hot it was at the hotel that Saturday, I did not want to cosplay at all. Did not. It took convincing from a few people and a couple of few cosplayers who were cosplaying the Anarchy Sisters, Panty and Stocking, that convinced me to have a few drinks, put Garterbelt on, and enjoy the con. And as I was saying, good Lord, it is hot in here. I'm sweating. I'm sweating harder than someone, and I'm sweating harder than someone in church. And I damn well know I saw the entire congregation at the club last night.
Sweating like a sinner in church, huh?
Yep. All right, let me go back here. Now, Me and Cinnamite, we went to the drag show and it was great. It was her first drag show. It was my first drag show. We had great fun all around. And I think, I would like to see more cons have drag shows. I think I enjoy those a lot more than burlesque shows. I know that some conventions will do that. Why, if not, have both? I think both are just as fun and entertaining and exciting. I did not go to the cosplay dating game because I went to convention stories. My friend Dawn Chu was running that, and we basically traded stories about being at conventions, like funny stories, happy stories, sad stories, horror stories. Nobody really dropped names, but we had some interesting stories to share across the board. So if you ever hear Pan about convention stories and you have a story to tell, you should definitely go by and check that out. And then, let's see. There were other panels here that I wanted to go to, but honestly, because of the heat and so forth, I kind of skipped out on some, like anime bar trivia. I would have enjoyed going to that. But like I said, after convention stories, I went upstairs. I think I ate something, relaxed, and kind of changed for the dance. Now, they had the Shenanicon dance. Now, it was basically like an quote unquote anime rave. No one really showed up in rave gear. I think a couple of people did. But back in the day, anime dances were basically you showed up in regular clothes or your shorts or in your cosplay and you just danced. There was no rave remixing or anything like that. Basically, somebody would just break out a bunch of anime mix music and just play it, and you just went with that. My train of thought was, well, it is a 21 plus convention. I'm thinking it'll be a club style. It's club like music. Everybody's, doing their dancing. Somebody from the hotel will be outside selling adult beverages, like that. AAC, another anime convention, out in Massachusetts, does that. Fridays and Saturday nights after a certain time, where it's nothing but adult panels. They will be somebody there selling alcoholic beverages, which is kind of cool. That didn't happen here, but I still had a good time nonetheless, despite the heat. On Sunday, I did go to a couple of photo shoots and took some pictures. I stopped in for the drag queen Q&A, which was pretty fun. Stopped in for a little bit for the D&D panel with Uncle Yo. That was great. Oh, wow. I didn't even know about this one. The World of Narue. If I realized that was going to be a panel, I would have recorded that because I think that was Michelle Knott's very first anime.
I guess I missed that one too.
Yeah. All right. Now, overall, if this convention, the way it was run, if this was a year 3 or a year 4, I would be abandon ship. Get the fuck out now while you can. This is another anime next waiting to happen. Now, granted that it's its first year, I won't say that. Shenanicon is the type of convention I've said that I could say in a way like Castle Point or Kogura-con. It's fun with friends. It's okay if you go by yourself, but you'll have a lot more fun with your friends. And if your friends hit up the different panels and so forth. I would recommend that have more adult themed panels there. Like a panel about BDSM, panel about kink and so forth. Because honestly, we're all adults here. Other 21 plus panel cons have that. And one of the things that some people were confused about, like I think I said this at the top of the review, when people hear 21 plus convention, it's hentai and sex and this and that, all of that. The way Shenanicon was, it was kind of expected that to be there, but in very low doses, where it's like adult, normal panels, but from being run by adults with adult conversations and so forth. I also found out that the hotel also screwed the pooch on the room block.
Oh boy.
You know how the dealer's room was on the right side of the hotel?
The far right side,
Yeah.
yep.
And everybody's rooms was scattered across the right and the left.
Uh-huh.
Everybody was supposed to have been on the right side. Like, we were supposed to be the first four. Basically, the room block was floors 2, 3, and 4. Everything was supposed to have been right there.
Oops.
Yeah. The hotel screwed the pooch on that. I also found out that there was a wedding in the hotel early last week. And again, they also had issues with the air conditioning then.
That's not good.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind it if Shenanicon is at this hotel again next year. But provided...
As long as they get the hotel upkeep fixed.
Yes. Take care of the air conditioning. Put everybody on one side of the hotel. What was interesting was the con didn't have badges. They had wristbands. But they were the plastic ones where you could shower and it wouldn't get damaged. That was cool. Signage. That is one of my pet peeves of conventions. This was a 2-day convention. One thing, if you don't know, in hotels, in front of like their office rooms and so forth, like they will tell you the name of the room, and they usually will say what's going on in that room. They could have put a piece of paper in there saying these are the panels that are happening at this time. And since there's only like 3 panel rooms, if there's any last minute changes, they could have just update it, reprint, and just drop it right into the sheet there. They could have done that.
They didn't do that.
No. I will kind of let that slide for now. Well, but then again, there were a stack of schedules at registration. But there could have been like a giant blow-up sign, and they could have hung it nearby or put it on an easel for people to take a look at. I truly believe Shenanicon can be something. Again, we don't have enough 21 plus conventions in this country. I really believe that if it should be in suite style hotels. Keep it capped at about no more than 1,000 people. I would say make it a 2.5-day convention. Like, have things start around 5 or 6 o'clock when people get out of work, you know? And on Saturdays, don't have anything, no panels until like maybe 12 o'clock. You know? And Pod Culture says, I don't know, Dragon Con After Dark is pretty adult. And I get that. I get that. But you have to understand, Dragon Con is for everybody. Imagine how debauchery and chaotic it would be if Dragon Con was strictly a 21 plus convention.
You can only imagine.
I know. There's prowess here. There's work that can be done. And I believe in this convention, mostly because there is a lack of 21 plus conventions, and I want to see more thrive. That's what I want to do. I want to see adult conventions, but I don't want adult conventions, you know? I'm all about the debauchery, but the whole con itself shouldn't be pure debauchery. Start it later in the evening. Like, yes, if there is a panel about kink and BDSM, it should be in the early evening, not 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Oh, he's talking about Dragon Con, not Washington D.C.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah. And if in our chat room at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session, Pop Culture is saying, I don't know, Dragon Con's pretty After Dark is pretty adult, and he's trying to get us down to Dragon Con. It is way too big. It's way too many people for me. I don't think I could deal well with that. But we will see. Now,
and it's in Atlanta, so if you were complaining about the heat up here,
well, it's over Labor Day weekend, so it won't be that bad.
It's still the south. It's still summer in the south, so.
True, but I will not be up that early to be part of the Dragon Con parade. Nope, I'll be sleeping in. All right, I went on my tangent. I went on my thoughts about the con. Ari, what is your thoughts and your take on the convention?
Like I said, a lot of the environmental stuff, it just really hampered my enjoyment of the con.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the hotel, the heat, me just walking around in pain constantly. But yeah, even with all that, the lack of 21 plus stuff, and what else? You went over a bunch of the same thoughts I had about the
mm-hmm.
about the paneling, the panels, and the the content. There's like I said, after after around 7 o'clock, I was just already done with the convention.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to go home. Fuck this.
Yeah, if the air conditioning was better, it would be a different thing.
Yeah, I would have been able to tolerate it a lot more.
Yep.
Like I said, not the worst one I've been to. The one, as in, not the worst experience I've had at a convention,
mm-hmm.
but it's down there.
Yeah. So Ari thought it was. He wasn't in favor of the convention. Favorable thoughts.
It was highly mid.
Yeah. For me, I thought it was it was good. It was great for what it was. There's prowess in there. There can be things that can be done to make it better. So I am hoping that there was a Shenanicon 2025, and I will do my best to host a few panels there.
We can only hope things get better.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now that we've gotten our review out the way, we will also have a written review of the convention by Cinnanite up on our website in the next couple of weeks or so. So stand by and bear with us, because remember, we have jobs outside of this that handles all of this. So. All right. Now we're going to get into the part of the show that y'all really stick around for, is Meanwhile in Japan. And Ari, I think I know what article you're going to take.
The second one, right?
If I'm looking at the list correctly, that's correct. I had a feeling you'd be taking that one, because that's one that's right up your alley.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, have fun with the first one.
Oh, I will. So basically, I'm going to tell you about how Taiwan's most beautiful politician kicks a groper in the balls during a visit to Japan. You heard me. Last Saturday night, Chihining Ho was walking outside of Otsuka Station in Tokyo when a man holding an extra large can highball in one hand and visibly intoxicated and approached her. With steps stumbling and speech slurred, the man repeatedly called out both in Japanese and English to Ho, who was visiting Japan from Taiwan, and regardless of how many times she waved him off or changed the direction she was walking, he continued to follow her. Ho, who was a politician representing a district of the Taiwanese city of Hsinchu, and known to some as Taiwan's most beautiful politician, then ducked into a bookstore. Still, the man continued to pursue her, even as she purposely walked a winding route around the store's aisles. Then as Ho exited the store, the man grabbed her twice on the butt. At this point, Ho had more than enough of this man's bullshit, and she turned around and kicked them in the balls. She then contacted the police, who arrived on the scene and arrested the perp. With the incident getting attention in both Japan and Taiwan, Ho posted an update to her Instagram on June 18th, clarifying that the unpleasant experience hadn't soured her on Japan as a nation. As she said, the groper is not a Japanese citizen, although she says that she has not confirmed what his nationality is, and has stated, "Even though this happened to me in Japan, I have no ill will towards the country." She also expressed her gratitude to the Japanese police for apprehending the man and providing an interpreter so that she can make her statement in her native language, and she said she has every intention of visiting Japan again in the future. At the same time, Ho said that the incident has served as a reminder for young female travelers to remain diligent when in an unfamiliar environment and to take precautions to protect themselves when help is not immediately available. Oddly enough, there is video footage of this on YouTube.
Can't wait for the memes and the parodies to pop up. Like, oh, my nuts! Somebody's nuts just got fucked up.
As Pod Culture says, man, that is nuts. Womp womp.
I asked for that one, didn't I?
Yes. Yes, you did. If I could,
shall I move on to the next one?
yes, please, because if I could trust me, if I could pull up Sad Trombone, I would have. All right.
A permanent video game art museum now being built in Japan. Let's see. Japan is finally getting a dedicated permanent video game art museum, with the project being spearheaded by real estate developer Koyu. Koyu might not be a name that matters much to people, but their parent company, Koyu Holdings, is also the largest stakeholder in Koei Tecmo, the video game developer publisher born from the merger of previously separate companies Koei and Tecmo, Natch, who collectively created such landmark series as Dynasty Warriors, Neo, Nobunaga's Ambition, Romance of the Three Kingdoms, and Dead or Alive. The three-floor museum depicted in the artist rendering at the top of the article will be located in the Nishi ward of Yokohama, about 30 minutes south of downtown Tokyo, near Shin Takashima Station on the Minato Mirai subway line. That puts it within walking distance of Koei Tecmo's main office, but the facility's official name, the Game Art Museum, implies a focus broader than just Koei Tecmo's works. In addition to the exhibits inside the building, the museum's exterior also hosts seasonal projection mapping events that recreate game environments and atmospheres in its art garden area. Construction began in February, and Koyu is now saying it's planning to finish the building in May of 2027, with it opening 2 months later in midsummer. This is definitely a very nice-looking museum, at least on paper. Like, a part of me is also going to be thinking, like, okay, if it's not just going to be Koei and Tecmo properties, right? Like, I imagine they'd pay, top yen for other art pieces from other IPs and companies and whatnot, right?
Maybe.
Because some of the vintage art, like mid to late 90s, I mean, some of the mid to late 90s art for SNK fighting games is just, wow.
And speaking of SNK fighting games, Cia DeViri asks in our chat room at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session, will the museum have jiggle physics?
God damn it. Well, they did create Dead or Alive, so that is a valid question, but god damn.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, because every time I finish this water and I put it down, 5 minutes later, there's more water, which means it is really hot in here. Oh, man. All right. It's time for us to transform and roll out. So I cannot wait to turn the AC back on. All right. If you like tonight's show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters. So what we like and don't like, we're going to tell you straight up. If you have any questions about the show, please drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. Let's see, what is this? I have to check something. All right. I got sidetracked. I ended up buying Double Dragon 4 for Xbox, and it said that the transaction was declined, but it went through, so I have no idea what the hell just happened. So I'm gonna have to check my account in a few and make sure everything is fine as it's supposed to be. So let's get back to where we're supposed to be at. Anywho, check out our website at animejamsession.com, where you'll find not just our weekly podcast. You'll see cosplay tips and tricks, cosplayer interviews. You'll also find anime reviews, editorials, links to our YouTube and Facebook pages of cosplay and convention coverage. All that and a lot more at animejamsession.com. And don't forget to check out our normal podcast. If you like this, check out, subscribe to the podcast. You can find us on Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or wherever app you get for podcasts. Just search Anime Jam Session and you'll find all the episodes there. Definitely check them out. Our social media pages. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. It's all Anime Jam Session. Follow us so you know when we're going live, when we have photos up, videos up, new articles, all of that, and then some. And if you're participating with us live in the chat, down below is a links to our tip jar. You can click on our links to our stream elements, let me pull this back up, sorry. Our stream elements, Streamlabs, and our Ko-Fi. Click on those if you want to throw money directly at us. We'd appreciate that. There's a link, or you can just, if you're in the chat, throw us some bits. We appreciate that too. You can also sub to the channel as well and give out gift subs. Every little bit counts. Everything gets invested back into the channel. So now we're going to go around the room. Last words, Ari.
I was thinking about that groper who got kicked in the nuts by that politician.
Yeah.
And another phrase comes like, "My one weakness, my balls. How did you know?"
Oh, my last words is, it's a little hot. It's a little hot. All right, I'll take care of that later. Well, this is it. End of list. We'll be back next week. No, not next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a brand new episode. Hopefully, Ari will be here. Maka will be here. Barry will be here. I'll be here. Will you be here? We hope so. So that's it. We're getting up and out of here. So I'm Ranma.
And I'm Ari.
Great fight. Great night. See you next week.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Say goodnight, Ari.
Good night, Ari.
And I'll say the same thing. Good night, Ranma. Take care, y'all. And we'll see you all next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!